Kickoff in Chicago. Time for the starting lineups. Mike, brought to us by VitaCost.
Chicago had the luxury of resting most of their team last week. Piffoletti, Fawcett, and Abel are all fresh up front, and the hardworking Jones and Captain Rumble are back and fully rested in the back row. More fresh bodies in this back line. The only two returning players are MLR's second leading carrier, Devoto, and USA Eagle Campbell from last weekend's match. So more fresh bodies across the board for Chicago. Being able to have rested so many players was a much-needed luxury for head coach Chris Latham. Thanks to a fantastic regular season, he continues to lead his team and be trendsetters in that Eastern Conference. He has depth of USA Eagles White, Basca, and O'Keefe on the bench.
Now we turn to Old Glory DC.
DC has also enjoyed a fantastic regular season, so they have lots of fresh bodies. Escaro, Gaddis, Harley, Daniel, and Bavaro all rested and fully fresh coming into this one. Again, more fresh bodies in the back line. Only Hoyland and Rizzo feature again this week in the lineup after starting in last weekend's loss to San Diego. Head coach Simon Cross knows how important that rest time was. They were punished by that hungry San Diego side, but they're back at full strength, and they have the depth to upset Chicago on the road with Gross, McVie, and Powers.
Cards and 4 Reds this year. He's repped Old Glory DC twice this year. Federico Anselmi, Morris Fuller are the 2 ARs tonight. And Austin Reed, the TMO, and here we go.
Inside that 22, and this is where DC can shine. Their strike moves off set piece from this back line are outstanding.
Buckley to Hughes, the 13. Pass comes inside. Fatna Schultz driving forward now inside the 22. So the set piece this time not back to Gattas, but to the 9 in Buckley. Trying to get organized now in better shape. It's turned over, a lot of contact. Chicago Ironworker as well has a shield with New York. Looks for 3 to begin scoring in the match, and the flags are up for 3. Maybe a couple meters, that's it. Tavita Nangali dishing for Daniel. American-born number 7. Injured Hound in the middle of the pitch now. But play goes on. Grigg on a flip. To the number 8 and looking for 3 more. Off the post and through. So count it. Flags up. California, what a season he's had. Been brilliant for Chris Latham. Line out from the butcher. Dylan Fawcett is errant. And grabbed by his fellow hooker, Facundo Gattas, on the pick. Turnover. So their first chance with a line out deep in the red zone doesn't work out too well. Hoyland chugging through tacklers. Got absolutely blitzed by 3 Greens kits. And eventually Harley and company. Count. Chicago struggling in that category. Fawcett, brilliant all-pro type season. Baker at the back of the rolling ball. He's got 9 tries this year, tied for 5th in Major League Rugby, 3rd on the team. Rumble passing off there to Devoto, who's had a huge season, back to the 8 and Rumble. Driving forward, trying to get some help from Charlie Abel. Higgins trying to set things up for Abel. Works there for Piffoletti, the loose head prop. Born in California, but raised in the UK. Member of the Hounds since November of 2024. Advantage being played by the home side. 80 points entering the first round of the playoffs. Right boot to it. Well struck, and the flags are up. And 3 on the board for the home side. Finally. What an effort. The want to Escaro. Ball bounces well there for Old Glory DC, and not on the pitch for a spill or a knock on when it could have been.
He's got to roll quicker.
As we talk about, and out for the season. Looking for 3 for 3. That's right down the middle. Flags are up. 3 more points. Old Glory DC has got 3 from Emery. 36th minute of the match here tonight. All penalty kicks so far. Really nowhere near a try for either side. No lineouts inside the 5-meter. Hoyland gathers that. Elusive in the open pitch and gets absolutely hammered at about the 10. Took a heavy hit. Fatna Schultz motors ahead. We'll try to keep it in play. Near the touch line. Buckley has the handle. Mueller for Escaro. Drives ahead. Former Cal Bear, USA Eagle, national champion in college, longtime OGDC player. There is a player from the visiting side at the 10. being looked at by trainers, as you can see. Picked. Taken back Chicago. Finally something to talk about here for the home side. Here's Chicago's Wall. He's free to dot it down. He's in. Intercept, and Wall, the beneficiary, Mike, for the 5-pointer.
And that could be a backbreaker for DC. We talked about how good they've looked, their continuity, they're taking Chicago through phases, and that's a situation where they just tried to force it.
Listen, Peyton Wall is obviously one of those guys up for Rookie of the Year, and there's a good reason why. He really draws the crowd into the game. When he was named player of the match against NOLA, he's on the side of the pitch, just getting the crowd into the game. They were excited. They respond to him very well.
Brig on the tackle. Old Glory DC wants it back. Hoyland. Vizcarro. Daniel. Some room to the outside channel. Mueller surging ahead. Fatna Schultz is there, trying to pick up the rock. Gatas. Look at Old Glory DC here. On their offensive shape, looks fantastic in the stretch run. Mangali to the outside channel. Driving ahead is Rizzo.
Rizzo scores our second one to answer straight back. We talked about both of them in the head-to-head. Man, we couldn't have scripted this better, but...
Left foot to it. Stays in play. Taken back by Swiel on a bounce. He had that huge pick, and eventually the feed, the offload to Wall. Noah Brown gained some territory. The chase, and eventually it's through the try zone. Swiel on the sprint. Hearts out at Quincy last year. Lost a close match in the Eastern Final at New England. Free Jacks went on to another shield. Mueller carries. Higgins, a gutsy tackle from the number 9 spot. Axel Mueller gained some ground. Inside pass, Emery. Looked like he was a little gimpy earlier as Carl frustrated.
You know, obviously you're not allowed to block, but just some kind of screen in front of you to help you, but nothing was set.
Knock on green, knock on green.
Thank you.
Knock on the call, you saw that. Line-out success has been an issue for Chris Latham's side. Struggling again, Hoyland. Outside channel, gained some territory, now some room for the 15, Damian Hoyland. Eventually lost. A long-time MLR star, this is where he shines so brightly. In for Scott. They want it back in Fawcett's hands. Rolling ball, Devoto some help. Fawcett in the middle. Lamar breaks down a little bit. They can't finish this time. Not from Fawcett. Ball spilled. Jack Vizcarro and company hoping for the knock-on against the home side. Rumble. The team captain spins ahead. Harley. And will nail him. Physical play. Driving forward. About a meter out. Higgins trying to grab that cleanly. Fawcett for Mason Flesh. Not quite there. Picked up one more time. Mac Jones trying for a number 10 of his season. Doorstep. Arms up in the air. They've got it. And Mike, 5 more on the board for the home side.
And what a smart play from Abel. Look where he scores. Look where he scores, right in that post. There's no chance that DC can defend it. That is such a smart play by Charlie Abel. The play is going to the left, but literally up against that post. DC
wants the arm in the air for the referee Rogan one more time. Old Glory DC and Greg celebrating some good defense. It is right on the doorstep.
give themselves a little bit of breathing room here.
Huge defensive stand. Taken back by Swiel. With that big play at the end of the first half, setting up the 11 left wing. Had a late penalty kick against Houston, round 17 match. Flags are up. 3 more on the board for the home side. 2016 match. Last time. Gets himself free. Corey Daniel with a dummy. Fatna Schultz is there. He's got the power and strength to get that dotted down. Old Glory DC trying for a lead here, but the penalty first called. Set piece here, Chicago. Gonna hang on for dear life into the 66th minute. Devoto left boot to it. Deep down pitch. Hoyland. Grabs that cleanly. Damian Hoyland. A cut, trying to get to the halfway line. Before help arrives. Fletcher the tackle. Van Jones. Blast through a couple of green kits. Turned over. Mason Flesh has got it to the Butcher Fawcett. To the outside channel. Wall. He's got one already. American-born left wing has been fabulous. Minute trying to hang on for a spot in the Eastern Conference Finals for a second straight year. Liam Fletcher from Australia. 75 pounds, the Vodo. Punching that airborne. Perfect placement. O'Keefe and company driving in the Eastern Conference semifinals on the doorstep. Fawcett is there. Awaru not far behind. Looking for the arm in the air. Maybe.
Check it. Austin, we're going to come up to you, mate.
Yeah, got you, Luke.
So we do have a grounding, so on-field decision is try. Ball there.
Yeah, Luke, I see the ball clearly over the line. Stick with your on-field decision.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you, mate.
It's confirmed. Arm in the air from Luke Rogan. Daniel, a little bit of ground. Not enough. Chicago's defense.
Backwards.
A brick wall here. Spilled backwards. Buckley grabs it. Long pitch, the outside channel, big tackle. Heavy hit, you see the reaction, ball to touch.
So we talked about fresh bodies coming into this one. Nobody will be fresh going into next week, though. There'll be some hurting people in week 2.
Giannis Venter, pitch time here for the home side, trying to salt this away.
Side entry, mate. You've just pushed it across. Yeah, we warned you. No.
And our first yellow card of the night.
I wasn't giving Miami enough credit. I way overlooked Miami. I'll tell you what,
I could, whoa, Petra.
I could be eating my words very soon. I could be eating them very soon.
Emery, Mueller's been so quiet. Track down in the final moments there for Noah Brown. Second year, right wing. Played at Lindenwood, the inside feed. Past 80, the fans on their feet, waiting for the final, which is right now. Kick the touch to end the match. And Chicago is headed for a second straight year to the Eastern Conference Finals. It wasn't easy, but Piffoletti and the Hounds shut out Old Glory DC in the second half for the victory tonight.